I do believe so. Double check. Let me know if you can hear me, guys. How's it going? If anybody's out there. I wonder if we got anybody in at all. I'm hoping so. We'll see. Guys, how you doing? If you are in the chat, I'm going to have a bit of a scan through, see who we've got in here. We have some people in the chat, 42 of you. Awesome. Guys, I'm so screwed. I can tell you. I just want it. Yeah, there we go. We are live. Thank you. I was panicking there. I didn't think we were on. Hunster in the chat. Marco, it's on. Andy Beckett, hey all. Got partial deafness here, guys. So looking dapper. I don't know about that, mate. I'm looking shagged. I'm absolutely and completely ruined, mate. I am so screwed. I overcooked it. Truth be known, I completely overcooked it at the weekend. Probably bit off a little bit more than I could chew, and nearly choked. So, but overall, I've had some positive feedback in most cases. Yeah, Andy Beckett there, clean shaven. Yeah, I always do that, mate, after an arm wars. Don't know why. It's one of those weird things that whenever I've finished an arm wars event, I always whip the goatee beard off. Just only for a couple of days, but I'll lose it at that point in time, you know. So yeah, how'd everybody enjoy it? Let us know in the chat if you enjoyed the event. I'm sorry, I'm sweating bobbers in here. It's absolutely frigging boiling. I'm like the Antichrist of my wife. She has the house really warm, and I like it cold. Karen Loomer's in the chat. Yeah, we got quite a few people coming in now. I'm gonna wait a little bit. Fox 8 Ball. There's a guy who was very proactive at the weekend. He was there and enjoying himself. He was really flying the flag. Fox, I thought you did a great job, mate. You were there flying the flag. You had the old Arm Wars logo in the back of your head. Commitment, mate. Craven Moorhead's coming with a super chat. Hey Neil, many congrats on the event. Superb. Have you caught up on kit yet, mate? I have not. I'm actually, you know what? I'm actually surprised how knackered I am. Genuinely, really shocked. I'm much more tired than I thought I would be. There was a time, although it was a long time ago to be fair, but there was a time when I used to be able to pull all-nighters and it not really destroy me that badly. But let's just say the weekend wasn't without its challenges, all right? It was, yeah, it was pretty challenging. There was a lot of things coming out of left field. It's funny because I've had people say, oh, Neil, you should have got the live feed up earlier and you've lost a lot of views. And you needed to be there, guys. You needed to be there to see how hectic, how manic, how busy it was. There was a number of really good things, a number of positives coming out of this event. I think the most positive thing for me, well, there's two things actually. The most positive elements for me were, firstly, that we seem to hit the ground running again. Arm Wars has been away for, I don't even know how long, maybe 5-6 years, really. I think we did a small event in 2016 or 15, but it's been away for a long period of time, and we hit the ground running. Day one of Arm Wars, we were back in the mix. The matches were coming thick and fast, and every single one of them was a screamer. Every single one of them, that's a little in-joke there for Rolly Ray. Every single one of them was just a hellfire match. They were amazing. And that was really nice. It was great to see the athletes come in, and it was almost like we hadn't missed a beat. They literally jumped straight back in where we left off. Unbelievable battles. Amazing stuff. And I hope you guys out there enjoyed it. It's what Arm Wars is all about. It's what's the promotion's built upon. That whole concept, really, of mega battles, of matches that are just full on, where everybody leaves it all on the table, and we definitely had a lot of those, you know. There's absolutely no doubt about it. The morning session was incredible. The first 3 matches were off the scale, just off the scale. I was over the moon. Rolly Ray was on stage. He kept coming up to me saying, "Holy shit, we're back!" And it was like, oh, you know, it was quite moving, really. The other thing that was really good for me, the second of the two things, was that the amount of support in the crowd at the Arnold Classic specifically for arm wrestling, it was overwhelming. I couldn't go for a piss. I literally left the stage, went across the floor, and you were just mobbed. People coming up, wanting pictures, just arm wrestling fans. And that was awesome. It's lovely to see so many arm war shirts kicking around, arm wrestling shirts generally kicking around. Amazing. Absolutely. Mizel Jadot in the chat, mate. Thanks for doing everything you do, Mizel. Your boy did great also. I've got so many thank yous. My brain is still completely fried, but I'm gonna try and sort of work those in as we go through. I'll answer any questions you got as well. You can fire them in. I want to say an enormous thank you to Paul Maiden and Mick Holland. They did a great job, I thought. They kept the matches running. Our down refs were amazing. Dave Kelly, Kath Whitaker, new to the game, hadn't been there before, giving some experience to the format, and they rose to that challenge great. They did a great job. They got right into the thick of things, and that was nice to see. It was nice to get some new blood out there and get some experience under their belt. I want to say an enormous thank you to all the arm wrestlers who made up the reality check card, okay? Because the performances over the weekend were amazing. We had, for me, so many angles covered, you know. We had the guys who were very much established pullers, who had the reputation intact. We had guys who were veterans of Arm Wars Super Series who've pulled there many, many times before. And we had the absolute new, the people that we hadn't seen in the promotion before, that had just come to it. And every single one just flung themselves tooth and nail into the concept, into the promotion, into the whole ethos of what Arm Wars is. I've always had a belief that arm wrestling is at its best when it's flowing. It's the clue's in the title, Arm Wars. It's about wars. It's about getting into deep matches, hard matches, where the match goes everywhere. You see that technical range where the guys go flat out. And there were so many examples of that. Whether guys won or lost, what they did do was just go balls out. And that was awesome, you know. There was some really bright sparks. I loved Adrian Popescu. I thought he was amazing. It was actually funny because I listened to Ryan's comments and he said that he thought that Adrian was awful, had terrible fundamentals. I was laughing my ass off. It was great. I think Ryan might be trying to talk himself into a match again, but I thought Adrian Popescu was awesome. He wrestled brilliantly. His left arm is extremely serious. Very, very complete arm wrestler. Got it all covered. Good looking kid, charismatic, fast, aggressive, strong, brave. He's got it dialed in. He was great. And he was a fabulous addition to Arm Wars, and I can't wait to get that kid out in again. He was amazing. Rolly Ray Lipinge, who knew? What a match, mate. That went exactly as I sort of scripted it, as I thought it would go in my mind. Whenever I'm putting a match together, I try and mental map it out, how I think it's going to go. And sometimes they come off and sometimes they don't come off and you look a dick. But on that occasion, it came off and that was lovely. It was great to see. Two fabulous characters. Ray and Craig are both guys who love the sport, throw themselves into the sport, and it encapsulates them, and they both went bananas. And it was one of my favourite matches of the entire weekend. I absolutely loved it. And I'm going to go on like this a lot about some of these guys tonight because it's going to knock over a couple of super chats real quick before I lose them. Fat Legless Bird, thank you for your super chat. Really appreciate it. Big Red Rocket event. Yeah. Are you going to release the footage like you did on previous Arm Wars with cuts and pro edits? Lovely darts, lovely darts. Yeah, we are. A lot of people have said to me, oh, Neil, about the lives and about the my point of view camera that I've been putting out. That's playtime. That isn't what this was about. If you were watching those, you may have seen we had big professional cameras there. James Statham, who was the event director, was manning that. And that's what it was about. That's what this Arm Wars promotion was all about. We are going to be launching a specific channel, and that will be making a different take on what we do with Arm Wars. It's going to be making films effectively. So we've got some interviews, we've got some footage, and we're going to sort of show this stuff in a little different way. A little bit playtime on this occasion, just seeing what we can pull off. But it's leading into a concept for 2022 that I'm really confident about, and I think it's gonna be really amazing. They say that you live and you learn. Well, I learned a lot this weekend. I really did. I learned a great deal. I learned that I can't clone myself, and I bit off more than I can chew. Probably really struggled, not gonna lie. So we got Noel DC with a super chat, and I think it's in Japanese yen. Amazing event. Appreciate everything you're doing to promote the sport. Arm Wars events several times a year, please. That's the plan. That's the plan. Obviously, been speaking to the WAL again. Hopefully everything's coming back with them with a bit of luck. Fingers and toes crossed. So I'm still very much committed with WAL, but Arm Wars is coming back. And we are going to do events again. I'm actually going to be looking for sponsors very shortly for the event, for a series of events that we're putting together next year. Anybody listening in who is interested in that as a core sponsor, we only got room for around 2 or 3. We don't want to overcook it, but if you are interested in sponsoring Arm Wars Super Series season, get in touch, let us know. Kirsten Prodigy in the chat. Great event, thank you, mate. Kirsten Prodigy, remember, going to be pulling one of the guys who featured on the card, Božidar Simionov, and they pull February 28th, I believe it is. Very strong puller, Kirsten, so keep your eyes out for that. Let me have a look. Tide of Life 1. Dang, Neil, you need to let everyone know where that fountain of youth is. I'm hoping you're taking the piss, because I'll tell you what, I feel like I'm in dug up. I really do. I'm absolutely ruined, mate. I can't remember being much more tired. If I look at my eyes, they're shot to shit. Also got my little lad had a cold, and I think I've got that, so I feel pretty crap through that as well. But just lack of sleep over the weekend was pretty hammering. But it's nice to get out and speak to you guys, just interact with you guys on here and get some feedback on the event, because I haven't heard a great deal about it yet, apart from the pullers that took part in it. And that was overwhelmingly positive, you know. Juju Mugu, who is the clean-shaven mother fluffer. Love from California. Thank you, mate. And thanks for your support of the channel. It really does assist. Devon's Classy Finger. Great event, buddy. Where's your beard? It'll be coming back, mate. Just a little Arm Wars tradition that I tend to keep up. We've got Sharon Remez. The legendary Sharon Remez is in the chat. Few men have been better than that guy at the arm wrestling table. Let me tell you now, grew up watching Sharon. Sharon, hope you're well, mate. Hope you and your family are good. Been a while. Let's have a look who we got in here. So, Toot Karcher I got to meet at weekend as well. I got to meet a couple of the guys that regularly come into the chat, and that was really nice as well. It's great to meet you guys, to see you at events, and to get your feedback. It was nice that so many of you were enjoying it. Yep, Goodman was there as well. Great supporter of the channel, great supporter of Arm Wars. And one of the things that I have received a massive amount of, Don's been telling me we've had a load of messages in as well. I've just been running around like a nutcase and I haven't been able to pick them up. Working throughout the days as well. So I'm trying to pick them up when I can in the evening and so on. But thank you to everybody who's messaged the channel. Thank you to everybody who's put positive comments. Overwhelming. A lot of people seem to miss the promotion. They missed Arm Wars and they missed the way we do things, and that's really nice to know. It does give you a little bit of a push that you're doing something right. A lot of teething troubles on this one, so we can get things a lot better, a lot plusher, a lot more sharpened. I was rusty, truth be known. We had challenges left, right, and centre. Couldn't, never had anything like it really. Mostly problems with travel, which were really kicking us all over the box. We were struggling. I mean, the loss of MINDAUGAS, TARASAITIS, was a real shame, you know. MINDAUGAS is awesome. He's a great arm wrestler. He's one of my favourite arm wrestlers. His character's great, brilliant ability. To lose MINDAUGAS was gutting, and to lose him at such late notice was terrible. But if you're going to step into the fray and do it like a boss, what can I say about that replacement? I mean, my God, absolutely unbelievable match. And check that out if you haven't done. Let's have a look here. Who have we got in? Make sure I haven't missed any super chats real quick, and then we'll go back into the chat as well. Ashley Smith, I'll tell you what, he did a fabulous job helping us with the kit on the Strongman event at weekend. I thought that worked well as well. We were sort of sharing a stage with official Strongman, and that worked really good for us. I think it worked well for them also. There's a real... a lot of people came up to me at weekend from the Strongman community just saying how much they enjoyed arm wrestling. And that was really nice as well. So, wow, 187 people in the chat. Hit that like button, mother fluffers. Let them know. Let them know. And I'll answer any questions as we go through. Let's have a look. What we got in here. I'm going to pick out some... I'll tell you a little bit about some of the stuff we're going to do as well. We have various giveaways hopefully coming on the channel soon, because we got some pretty special merch from some of the matches. We got MINDAUGAS' shirt. We got a shirt from the mighty SASHO, and we're going to be sort of auctioning that off, raffling that off on the super chats that come in. We'll be picking super chats that come in probably on the fix on Sunday. We'll do something like that and give away some of that cool stuff. Aussie Arm Wrestler bought everybody some vino, which the Latvians polished off big time. Aussie Arm Wrestler Jake Ward, if you're not already subbed, get over to Jake's channel. Great dude, and he is vibrant beyond belief. The world needs Arm Wars. You did an unbelievable job, mate. Respect. Ready, bang. You deserve a BRR10. So yeah, I had a few drinks at weekend on the last night, on the Sunday night after Giants. Myself, Uncle John, who is, what a lovely man that is. So myself, Uncle John, Ted the Elf, the Wiz, and Stones, he went out for an Indian because nowhere else was open. Because it was late as balls and we were still working. So we got back, went out for an Indian, had something to eat, and I had a couple of beers. I had about 6 pints, actually. And just as a sort of breathe moment. But I was so tired. I couldn't keep the pace. Too old for that shit, I tell you. Harvey J, thanks for your super chat. Great event. Thanks to Bowen for spoiling results. No comment. Yeah, I love Ryan, but yeah. Okay, let's have a look. Fox 8 Ball. Neil, what was your favourite match? I was going to say earlier, mate, I thought Casper's Gravis did a great job. And Tom Holland. That was it set the tone so well. I thought Nathaniel Ayikomu did a great job. Urban Armstrong to most people out there. And Ted the Elf, they got the thing going big time. That first session, Jason Hill and John Thompson, the tone was set, you know. They went flying in. They absolutely embraced it and went flying in. I love that. I love that the guys came in, picked up the torch and ran with it. I thought Rolly Ray and Craig was amazing. In fact, it was the big name matches, as so often the case, the big name matches that didn't get the pop that we figured they might. And that was quite a shame. But that's arm wrestling, you know. That's how it goes down. Vlad and Borgia were great. Borgia is so good. Kid's amazing. Vlad's so good. Those two guys are ridiculous. And how could we not mention Frode Hoagland and Bogdan Stoica? Both days they go to the 7th round, the silver bullet round. Amazing matches. Amazing. Particularly their right arm. Their match on the Friday, just fantastic. Match went everywhere. Fast finishes, long hook matches. Truly remarkable match. Truly remarkable pullers. I love both those guys. It went exactly as I thought it would go. I thought they beat the shit out of each other, and they did. Amazing. absolutely astonishing match, and it's possible that was my favourite match. That was a great match. Frodo Hoagland's always my first name on the team sheet. He's awesome. Craig Wicklund in the chat. Craig, how you doing, mate? Hope you enjoyed it. He's a bit of an Arm Wars fan, being on the cards himself. Quality matches as always from Arm Wars. My arm was itching all over, and it brings back the memories from Shadow Warriors, which was another good card. Mate, you'll be back on the card, I have no doubt, going forward. So, so many opportunities in that respect. And the concept that we want to do for Arm Wars going forward, I think is really exciting. I think people will really enjoy it. I'm just going to try and pick out a couple of bits from the chat here. So, Sam in the chat. Great job, Neil. I'm from Birmingham, but I couldn't escape work last weekend. Was gutted. I couldn't make it. Matches were great. Well, you can see the matches. They're going to be fed out. They're going to come out on my channel. We've already started to do that, but it's just playtime really at the moment. I'm just putting out my point of view matches, so that's going to get you guys up close and personal to the matches. You got a really good view. I mean, these are taken from 2 feet away. I'm coming over the top of the shoulder of the referee with this thing, just to give you guys up close and personal view of what went down in the matches. So you're not going to see a better angle than that anywhere. But when James cuts together the real stuff, I've seen some of the shots. Wow, absolutely fabulous. So I can't wait to see what James does with that. He's a very talented lad, and looking forward to seeing that big time. Let's have a look. Try and pick up a couple of the things that I've missed. So let me see a show in the chat. What were your favourite matches, guys? What was the match of the tournament? Who do you think stole the show? Adrian Popescu was a friggin' revelation. Guy's a mega arm wrestler. Love him. What a puller. So we've already had Irish Samurai come in with Tom and Gravis, and that was a great match, wasn't it? That was a great match. Ray and Craig getting a couple of votes. Bojiro and Vlad, right or left? I thought Vlad's left is remarkable, Some more abuse for Ryan. Stole the show, literally. Yeah, couldn't possibly comment. Yeah, Hoagland and Stoiker, really good. Caspers and Tom. Yeah, Tom and Caspers. A vote there from Carolyn for Uncle John and Jason Hills. Great match. A lot of intensity in there. Jonathan Fletcher, Popescu was a beast. Yeah, he really was. And a comment there, SASHO was incredible. Not the most exciting, but he was a revelation. He's rock strong. SASHO. And spent a bit of time with SASHO afterwards, just running through some stuff. And one thing I can say went up in terms of my estimation of SASHO, the guy's technical prowess. I mean, you would expect nothing less, because he's one of the Bulgarian team. And Bulgaria, for me, is a hub of arm wrestling excellence, has been for many years. 2 guys responsible for that primarily, and that will be the Professor and Krasi. So, you got guys like Svetan Gashevsky and Krasi in the mix, and they're the guys churning out that kind of knowledge. It can only lead to top flight arm wrestlers with great ability. That's exactly what it's done. You only have to look at how many guys, amazing pullers, have come out of that country. There's a lot of amazing pullers that fly under the radar from that country. So their very best really are special. Many of my favourite pullers in the world are from that area. Cooper Maxwell in the chat. Thanks, mate. Uncle John's energy at the table was unmatched. What's your thoughts on his performance? I thought he was great. I thought that John came in very focused. He came in with a game plan. He came in to portray himself in a certain way, to attack the match in a certain way. And he did exactly what he said he was going to do. The day before, when he was sort of walking through what he was planning on doing, how he was going to address the match, how he was going to approach it, you can't knock the lad. He did exactly what he said he was going to do, and I think he did it well. He was trying to turn himself into the heel all weekend to make himself sort of... to turn the crowd on him. He did it to a degree. Obviously, the job was made a little easier because he just shagged the Queen and he's pulling against David Bradford. But those two things weren't enough to turn the entire crowd against him. So he carried on winding it up. And by the end of the day, yeah, I think everybody appreciated what John had come to do. David had a little bit too much on the left arm, and he allowed that match to develop a little bit as well. But you got to have various ingredients to make a good dish, and John was awesome. The guy was an absolute pleasure to work with. He came in, he was diligent, he was really, really receptive to ideas. He was very helpful. I can't say enough good about him. I thought he was fantastic. Very, very impressed with Uncle John. He's a great guy, and we'll definitely have him back on Arm Wars if he wants to be involved. He'd be welcome on any card I do. Steffi Diamond, what about Ryan, Neil? Do you mean, are we talking Bowen or Espy? I'm assuming Espy. What can you say about Ryan Espy? The man's journey, the man's experience of the event was just terrible. He left. I know that I was speaking to him on the chat on Wednesday morning UK time, okay? The fact that he didn't arrive in the country till after 10 a.m. on Friday, horrible. Just a terrible, terrible journey over. And that will have impacted the guy. This is not a guy that's going to get much sleep on a plane. He's £400 plus 6'5" man. You know, he's a big dude. When he got there, he will have been all over the place in terms of his sleep schedule. We gave him another day, so we backed that match off and put it on the next day. But I understand from Ryan that he had some issues in the room. You'd have to ask him about that. The whole event was faced with some serious problems in terms of travel, in terms of logistics, getting people into the country. That was a learning. I mean, I've done a lot of arm wrestling shows. I've been doing this for 30 years. Never had anything like that. Absolutely unbelievable. Never had anything like that. Just crazy times. You can't legislate for some of the things that went down, some of the delays, some of the problems at the venue. I mean, you know, it's funny, people saying, oh, you should have done this, you should have done that. I couldn't walk 2 feet without one of the Arnold's organisers on me, one of the something going on. It was literally as soon as I left this, Neil, can you do this? Neil, can you do this? Neil, can you do this? Utterly non-stop for 3, non-stop, never, not a breath. It was bananas. You know, absolutely bananas. On Friday, I didn't eat anything all day. I was knackered. Didn't eat or drink anything, actually. Mick brought me a bloody cup of a latte at about 5 o'clock. Outside of that, I didn't have time to do anything. But I wasn't conscious of it. I wasn't hungry and I wasn't thirsty because I was just, you know, when you dug on it that much, it's just flying in at all angles. There was no time for any of that. It was just like crack on. But when I got back to the house at night, I was completely and utterly smashed. Just had nothing left. And then spent the night from probably 1 o'clock till about 4:30 in the morning on and off the phone from Bodger. Bodger was panicking, trying to get his locator form filled in and various other things. Yeah, it was immoral. I know from Thursday night to Saturday morning, and I'm not exaggerating, Thursday night to Saturday morning, if I had more than 4 hours total sleep, I'll be amazed. It was there or thereabouts 4 hours. I was still on the phone to Bodger at 4:30. Dean Bolt will tell you exactly when it was. But I about 4:30 in the morning, I got onto Bodger. I was still on the phone to him, like I say, till 4:30, 20 to 4, something, 20 to 5, something like that. Dean Bolt, massive thank you. He helped me out a lot with that. I was on a call with another lady from Boohoo Man, from Stupid O'Clock. They were trying to set something up with the Americans, trying to set something up with Larry and Eddie. It didn't actually come off, but there was all kinds of things going on at Silly O'Clock. So the whole event was out of left field. Wasn't something that I saw coming in that way. Didn't expect. Some of the challenges that I did expect didn't manifest themselves. Some of the things that I didn't expect came in, slapped the shit out of my fat face and left me on the floor with a bloody nose. I just got murdered, truth be known. Couldn't clone myself, didn't have enough Didn't have enough zip to get things done. And that was one of the major problems. Let's just jump in the chat a minute and see if I can spot anything. Any questions I've missed here? Would love to see Hermes versus Jerry Caderet for next Arm Wars. Yeah, I mean, different promotions at the moment. God knows when that'll happen. We'll have to see what's going on with the WAL and see where that's at. Daniel Alvarez, Uncle John's persona is cringe as. I thought he did a great job, mate. I thought he was really good. And the guy went balls out. He couldn't have tried any harder. I mean, you know, he was having a laugh with the crowd and trying to wind it up and trying to inject some character in there. And the crowd definitely warmed to that. But also, the guy had some serious... He seriously got some adrenaline dumps up there. He went pale, like white, and was sweating profusely and struggling to get a breath. I had to go over to him at one point and say, whoa, 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 sweet child of mine, take it easy, dude. You're going to black out. He looked like shit. He was wobbling and... Yeah, I think he'd been operating on minimal sleep as well. He was struggling. He was getting bullied by Dave. Dave at that point's like 3 pins up. I actually went over and gave him a bit of advice. I said, look, you're pulling wrong. You're doing the same thing every time. I said, just take a breath, calm yourself down. And if you're going to hit a man, try to hit the arm, make the arm move first before you rotate into his hand, because at the moment, it's all one way and it's the same predictable thing. And on the very next pin, he did have more success with that. And I respect John a lot for that, because even in the circumstances he were in, where he was nervous as hell, he was adrenaline dumping, he was snow blind, he still had enough wherewithal to take that in and to act upon it. Can't knock the lad. I thought he did a great job. Congratulations to David Bradford. He looked outstanding. Dave's a real talent, really strong guy. Oh, David... Just so this is recorded, and if you watch this show at any point, Zoe, who does the photography for the Giants Live, has some incredible pictures of you, mate. Honestly, your wife will have them, or your missus will have them on a bathroom wall. Swear to God, you should see some of the pictures. It's like Rolly Ray level. Let me tell you now. Well, Rolly Ray's just amazing. Rolly Ray's just popped up in the chat here. Oh, Rolly, 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 Rolly. Love Rolly Ray. Mate. Looking good. I know you're laughing at that one. I feel like death on a stick. You pulled awesome. You were great. Absolutely great. The Hunster, thanks for your super chat. He's put the same Hermes versus Jerry Caderet. Next Arm War. Screamer. You know what? It could be interesting, that one. Real clash of styles. There's so many matches out there, mate. I like Jason Merlo and Popescu on the left arm. That's a match I like. That's a match, let me tell you now. I still like Frodo Hoagland and Jason Merlo as well. I'm planning on doing something January, I would think, around January. And some of the guys that were there this weekend know the concept. I learned a lot this weekend. I will not be doing that again. Yeah, I won't be doing that again. I'm not doing a live event like that, a big live event like that again. I put too much money into it by a mile. And unfortunately, you can't trust people not to just rape the content and steal it and put it out there. When you've put thousands and thousands of pounds into something, there has to be a payback, or what the hell are you doing? You know, and for people to come in, rip the content off and fling it out there before I get a chance to. Yeah, I ain't letting that happen again. You know, fool me once and fool me twice and all that. Well, nope. Not the second time. That's the shame of this thing, you know, because I'm going balls out trying to pull it off, trying to make sure that I put some good stuff out there for the arm wrestling community, and so many people out there loved it, and so many people out there were gracious and really tried to help. And then some other guys did not do that, and they reacted a certain way, and they took the content and they fired it out there for their own gains. And all that's done is, it makes someone like myself, who's not a big organisation, who's funding this myself, why would I do that again? Why the hell would I go out there, put thousands of pounds into an event, just so somebody can go and take the footage? So I'm not going to allow that to happen again. I won't do an event like that. It's pretty much that simple. Yeah, I've just seen a thing coming again. It's the same thing. You need to do a live feed. No, I don't. I really don't. Just need to control getting footage is what I do. You don't need to do a live feed at all. It's live feed is great, but it's also restrictive. It doesn't allow you to do what I need to do, what I want to do. The other way you can maintain your IP is you don't let anybody in. You control the event. The live stream was done. We took the live stream on. Beforehand, I said that I wouldn't do the live stream. But the thing is, as soon as I do the live stream, as soon as it's out there, people will take the content that I've done on the live stream and utilize it for their own benefit. I've just seen it. It's happened left, right, and center, mate. So, you know, not going to do that again. Somebody else can be the fool that puts thousands of pounds in and gets smashed for it. It's a shame, you know. It's a real shame. But the people to thank for that are those people out there that behaved in that way, that proceed in that way. And everybody does their own thing, you know. It's my problem, and it's something that I will react to. But when I change what I do, that's why. You know, that is why I'm going to change it. And I'm going to change it. I'm just going to take it, I'll take it all dark. So the guys that come in will get the benefit from it in the long term. But it stops me going live because I don't trust anybody when I go live now. You know, I go out there and it just gets raped. So, yeah, I ain't doing that again. Mark Mayer with a super chat. Thanks, mate. He's put, we will see in the end, man. I bet your footage will pay dividends for years. You know what? The whole idea with this is I wanted to bring Arm Wars back and I wanted to inject venom into the sport again. I saw at weekend a level of excitement among the competitors and excitement amongst the arm wrestlers that were there and were watching, which I'm going to be honest with you, I haven't seen for a long time. I just haven't. It's not been there. And it was great to see that again. It was great to see people, everybody that was at that event could not help but be overwhelmed with it and get into the mode. You know, everybody. Arm Wars brings something special out of people. The format, the manner in which we do the matches. Uncle John in the mother flipping house, mate. I hope you're recovered. If you're not subbed to Uncle John, get over there. That is a deserving individual. Uncle John was outstanding. If you're just joining us, Uncle John, I've just been talking about you, mate. I thought he did an outstanding job. And more, he's principled. The guy's as straight as a friggin' arrow. I spent a lot of time with John, and it was really nice. It's great to spend. One of the best thing, or the best thing for arm wrestling for me, is the people in arm wrestling, the guys that you get to meet that become friends for a long, long time, you know. And honestly, Uncle John was awesome. The guy's an outstanding individual. He couldn't have tried harder, threw himself in there. Great to deal with, just a breath of fresh air to deal with. Awesome. And he's just coming with a super chat. I'm an Arm Wars guy for life. Mate, I would welcome you to any event I ever do. If I can get you a match, you're on the goddamn card. It's that simple. Guy's awesome. And here's the thing. As I've said before, you don't have to be the very best arm wrestler in the world to put on really good arm wrestling matches. Some of the best arm wrestling matches aren't necessarily featuring the best arm wrestlers in the world. And I really enjoy watching good arm wrestling matches. You know, what about you guys? Let me know. Does it have to be the very best in the world every time? There's a place for that. And having the big match headliner, pretty much essential. But below that, yeah. Anyway, without giving too much away, I've got multiple concepts in the pipeline. Multiple. And a lot of the feedback that I've noticed from the arm wrestlers and the fans who were there at weekend pretty much told me that a lot of people enjoyed the matches between the characters and the lesser known names more than they enjoyed the big name matches this weekend. I got that loud and clear. So many guys came over and said, oh, Jesus, I didn't think I'd enjoy that match that much. I came to watch this match. That one was better. This one was better. That was really interesting. And I've thought that for a long period of time. It's like a rediscovering of how we do things and the whole concept. But I have a lot to think about. I got a bit of awakening. Reality Check was just that for me. It really was. I learned a lot this weekend. I learned about myself. I learned about people and how they will react to this. Some people I trusted and they behaved differently to how I thought they would. Other people, well, I'm not going to get into that. Enough of the drama and bullshit. I'm keeping it positive. We did the show. I said I'd do the show. I said I'd go tooth and nail to get the guys into the country. Trust me, I did that. I went to the frigging bank to get that done, and I'm happy we got it done. We delivered on everything we said that we would. The only guy that fell off the card was MINDAUGAS, and the guy had COVID-19, so there was nothing I could do about that. Stephen Pena, how you doing, dude? In the chat. Neil, I don't tell this to guys often, but wow, looking sexy with this clean shaving. Dude, what's going on? You must be joking. I look like the Marshmallow Man in pink. Don't call me king, but call me daddy. My money is on Vitaly for top 8 this year. Seriously, Neil, Vitaly looks iron. Yeah, Vitaly's a beast, mate. Super strong, but Levan ain't look bad. One of the interesting things is whether Levan will be able to keep his mind 100% and clarity 100% on arm wrestling if he gets a lot of other opportunities, which it sounds like that's what he's going to get, and good on him. And that can change a guy. It can change an arm wrestler when they get that kind of opportunity. Yeah, sometimes it's exciting to do different things, and I wish all the very best to him for that. I really do. I hope that Levan kills it. The guy's a lovely individual, and whatever comes his way, good for him. Rev45k, thank you very much for your super chat, mate. Here's my show of support for Reality Check, and I would support a pay-per-view format. Well, it's funny you should say that, mate. That might be one of the ways forward. But thank you very much for that. Really appreciate it. Carolyn Looms. Was awesome to see the brotherhood between every athlete, learning about the characters and nations, and they put little lives out there growing the interest. Yeah, they really did. And what was nice was I was watching sort of the reaction of the crowd and the reaction of the people, and there was a lot of support for a lot of the arm wrestlers that are active on social media, like Uncle John and many others that were sort of just walking around. And it's nice that this happens. What we want to do with Arm Wars is give the arm wrestlers a platform that's at a level, at a standard that they can come and compete on, and then they walk away with a product that comes out of that, which is a highly produced, character-driven product, so that when they are going out to pursue sponsorships, and people say, "Okay, show me what you do. Where can I see you? What can we can say here? This is where you can be seen," and we give them a platform that allows them to extend and allows them to be seen by people. And that's really what we're trying to do with Arm Wars. That's the ultimate concept. That's where we're driving it. That's what we're going to try to put forward. So Mike Halbert, thank you for your super chat, mate. Here's for the ticket I would have bought for the event. Thank you, brother. Thank you very much. Thank you, Neil, for the awesome show. For me, you keep arm wrestling going big time. Your effort is noticed and appreciated. Thank you, brother. Thank you very much indeed. I am trying my best. Trying my best. Took a bit of a good hiding, truth be known, this weekend, but as I say, that's on me. Yeah, that's on me. Ultimately, that is on me. And I'm. If I had the opportunity to start the weekend over, there's some things I'd do very differently. Some things I would do very differently. I tried to pull the live off, just to give everybody a bit of background on that. We tried with the live. The live seemed to be going okay. We had a event stage which was positioned 35, 40 yards away, not far away from where we were. And yeah, I would be careful because obviously I'm working within the Arnold promotion and might do going forward. But what I would say is it was difficult to deal with that throughout the day in the relentless manner that we had to. They literally never stopped. I mean, even when no one was dancing, they still were playing the music at top bat. You know, they had it ramped up, and it was. I remember I was doing an interview with one of the guys. Can't remember it was one of the blinding matches. Great match, right? And we're doing the interview with the guy, and all I remember, I'm trying to listen and tune into what the guy's saying, and I just remember, let it go in the background, and I'm thinking, there's nowhere this can be released. This is going to get copyrighted. I go over to the phone, which the live's on, and it's just copyright coming through. Got to the stage where they took my lives down, you know. Ray came over, he said, it doesn't matter when they send that. I've had that loads of times and it's nothing. And then there's like 5 of them, and Ray goes, and the last one says, we're going to remove the content and strike the channel. And Ray's like, okay, that's bad. You need to do something. So we didn't go out further than that. We got murdered. We were speaking to the guys who were on the dance area. I had numerous chats with them. You can't knock them. They're there to do dancing, and they danced. Oh, how they danced! And they had some good dancers. And all the people that were dancing over there, I have nothing against you. You came to do what you did, and you did a great job. Good on you. It just came out of left field on us. Didn't see it coming, and it trashed us. Trashed the plan. Made life very difficult for us. There's no doubt about that. And it was something we had to adapt and react to. But you needed to be there to see. At the time, it was like really frustrating. I mean, it was really frustrating. We got a couple of times where they said, "Oh, give us half an hour and we'll turn that off and we'll be quiet for an hour." And so we moved the show back and never turned it off. And I was pissed. Anyway, it is what it is. So, G Minty Fresh, thanks for your super chat. Great event, Neil. Thanks for the great weekend of arm wrestling. Danny Tesh Watch would be proud. Ambition of mine. Not gonna lie. Want to get Danny Tesh on an Arm Wars card at some point. It must happen. It's got to happen. Can't have that not happen. So, we got Stephen Pena back in with another super. Can you also tell Ryan not to spoil the match before you release it? He put a video saying Sasho crushed RVJ without you uploading the video yet. Yeah. Yeah, no comment. Michael McGowan. I had a laugh being from the UK hearing Paul the Rev saying to Uncle John, "You're getting on my tits in the setup." I'm sure he never heard that before. Yeah, Paul's a character. Paul Maiden is... Paul's a good dude. Paul did a great job at Weekend. Paul Maiden did a great job at Weekend. Paul Maiden deserves a lot of credit. The lad kept the matches going under difficult circumstances. He's been out of Arm Wars refereeing, and it is different. It is different. I only had two. I think there was 2 or 3 times in the entire weekend that I disagreed with Paul's call, which is an outstanding performance. I thought the guy did exceptionally well. Thank you, Paul. Great job, mate. And you know what? Even on the elements where when I was thinking, oh, if I'd have been reffing that, it'd have been a different call. Yeah, everybody can say that. It's always easier with hindsight. It's always easier with a different... In the moment, when you've got to make that snap decision, you call it how you see it, and that's what Paul did. And funnily enough, it's benefited the athletes that were involved in the match. Sets up... there's a bit of drama around it. It sets up a great rematch for both of those. Awesome. Absolute quality. Sean Crowther, thank you very much for your super chat. $27 suit, $27.99, mate. Thank you so much. Thank you for all the guys that are super chatting. Really, really kind of you guys. Sean, thank you. He's put, thanks very much for bringing Arm Wars back. Can't wait to see what's up next. Any thoughts on a match for Matt Mask? Actually, exactly who I'm thinking about, yeah. I love Mask Kadetsha. I really like that. Particularly, left-handed, no. Right-handed Mask Kadetsha, very appealing match. I'd love to do that. I would love to do that. So, date for the diaries, guys. We're back at Arnold's next year on the weekend, 23rd, 24th, 25th of September. Going to be a 3-dayer. And I've already been speaking to Arnold's bigger, badder, better. We're going to make a bigger stage, better stage, make more of a promotion of it. So that's when it is. And we'll bring you some big names to that one too. And a crushing card. And I'm going to go for that just to get the very most stacked, badass matches I can possibly get. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Thanks, Sean. Appreciate your super chat, mate. And he is exciting as hell. I agree entirely. The Hunster with a super chat. Danny Tesh versus Tom Nelson for title of GOAT. Mate, Tom Nelson's ace. Danny Tesh may be God, and Tom Nelson's ace. Tom Nelson, I've known Tom for years, and that is one of the rawest individuals in the game, and he's an absolutely great bloke. Absolutely love him. Tremendous lad. Bloody strong arm wrestler as well. But he's just one of the true characters in arm wrestling. one of the things that makes this sport great and what I like about it so much is the genuine characters. The guys that are just heart on the sleeve. They are what they are. You can't knock that, you know. You can't knock that. Love it or hate it, you can't knock it. Yeah, let's have a look what we got in here. So, let's talk about Bojidar for a moment. Bojidar is a young man, and that guy is so impressive, so powerful and so technical, extremely strong. I would love to see him involved as a central focus in some matches. A lot of people saying, oh yeah, let's put him against this guy who's bigger. I was actually surprised, you know, to see some of the guys that they were matching him. Well, let's put him against Todd, let's put him against Ryan Bowen, let's put him against this guy, that guy. I wouldn't do that. I'd just put him against some of the guys who are the best in the world at his weight class, over 6 and there or thereabouts. So I still love the match with him and Totiev. I think that's a great match. I think it's an entertaining match, and I would love to bring that one to the Super Series. Totiev and Bojidar would be awesome. I think Bojidar and Makarov would be a good match. I think the Turk Hamza is that would be great. They had a match. I wish Engin was on here. He'd tell you straight away. It was it was either the EAF or WAF event, and they went backwards and forwards. David went on to win the event from Georgia, but on the lead up to it, on the battle on the way up for that, I remember watching it at the time, and it was just awesome. And I remember it was Boji and the Turk were just outstanding, both warlords, and they met each other, had a screamer, went both ways. Love to put those two together over 6. I would love to put that together. What a match that was. Incredible. Yeah, Toopkarch is actually in the chat. Great to meet you this weekend, mate. He took a few pictures. I haven't been able to access them yet, but I think he's going to WeTransfer me some of them over. And talented lad. Lovely to meet you. I can't emphasize enough, it's great meeting the guys that are followers and supporters of the sport. So many people coming into this game now. You know, to think we've just come out of the pandemic, or we haven't come out of the pandemic, we're still very much in it, but we're starting to see the sort of green shoots of recovery from the pandemic. This was the first big live event we've done. First time I've done an arm wrestling event in a couple of years, another PAA. Any of the UK guys in the chat, get over to the PAA. They're doing a lot of the amateur stuff in the UK and doing a great job. Paul's driving that forward. They've been doing some shows. I haven't been doing some shows. The big pro shows that I do tend to be harnessed to things, and I haven't been doing them. This was the first. It won't be the last, and there's more coming. So keep your eyes out for that. And then, as I say, don't want to sort of shoot the arrow too early, but we've got a great concept coming up, and it's going to be a game-changing concept. Eric McAtee, hiya mate, with a super chat. Thanks very much, pal. Really appreciate it. And he's put, Neil, congrats on the event. I really enjoyed it. Stop being so selfless and get a Patreon so we can support you and your endeavours more. You don't have to do this all the time. If you need help, just DM me. Don't actually know what Patreon really is, mate. I'm not a technical guy. I'd have to look into it, and at the moment I've just been getting time to breathe. It's bananas, and I've been trying. All my focus is when I'm working on arm wrestling has tended to be trying to get matches going, trying to get the promotion up. There was a huge amount of work in Arm Wars Reality Check. I think the Worlds in 2006 was easier to organise than that frigging thing. It was bananas, you know. But yeah, I've got a couple of things in the pipeline now that I'm already working on, planning them out, putting cards together. I'll be in touch with athletes shortly on that. And as I say, I'm going to get out. I'm interested in some sponsors for the season that we would encompass within the show. So if you are interested in that, let me know. You can email the channel, supernaturalstrengthchannel@gmail.com. That's supernaturalstrengthchannel@gmail.com. Oh, for everybody that came up to me at weekend, there was a lot of people came up and asked about the Arm Wars shirts. In the description, you will find all the Arm Wars Classic logo shirts, the event shirt from Reality Check. That's only available for a while. All the athlete shirts are probably going to be available up to about November. We're going to let them run a little bit. The money from those all go to the athletes. We also have the coloured shirts that people were asking. We sold out of the like a camo green. It's called Autumn Gold. We sold out of that super quick at weekend. A lot of people were asking us about it. The red one is back in stock and the bright blue one is back in stock, as well as the ice blue. And I'll put the link. I haven't actually put them into this, but they came in today. They're back in stock. Anybody wants to... That Autumn Gold one is the balls. No wonder that went that quick. And the red one. So they're available now. And I'll put those in the description. Just haven't got around to doing it, but they are available again. So everybody that came up and asked me at weekend, sorry, I wasn't focused on merch. Missed the trick, should have been doing. Just wasn't. But they are back in stock, and I will put them in the link, and you can order them online. It's great to see you guys all out in the Arm War shirts. Yep, Goodman there had his last in the Bad Mother Fluffer shirts. It's funny as balls. Fantastic stuff. Loved it. So, Tupkacha with a super. Thanks, mate. He's put photos all sent, Neil. Hope you like it, and thanks for letting me in front. It made the event that much more special for me. Can't wait for the next one. Thank you, mate, and thanks for sending those over. Really kind of you. Let's have a look what we got here. Matt Rhodes Sport is in the chat. Loved the comp. Lots of interesting, intelligent characters within arm wrestling. Enjoying it more every day. Good stuff, mate. Really glad you're liking the sport. We got that so much this weekend from people from the strongman community. Obviously, we've seen the crossover a number of times now. And when I was at the Giants show in the evening, even though I had no voice and did a pretty shite job, the amount of people that were coming up to me, I was walking around saying, hey, awesome, we loved the arm wrestling, we loved it, we were over there, we ended up spending more time there than we did walking around the show, we missed loads of things at the show because we were standing at the arm wrestling stand watching the matches. That was awesome. That is great that people are coming up and telling us how much they love the sport. It's starting to convert people. And I'm really confident in the Arm Wars format, in being able to deliver that for guys that are not ordinarily arm wrestlers. They're not purists. They're not fans of the sport. They're just guys that have come and had a look at it. And so many of these people are buying into the sport, getting genuinely interested. Enormous amount of work's been done on that with some of our stars and some of the guys that are just so active on social media. But if you can draw these guys in, and then they get to see the essence of the sport. They get to see things like arm wrestling. They get to see the battles where you get these deep matches and you get guys that are going all over the table. It's converting, guys. And I think there's a big crossover between strongman, strength sports generally. I mean, I don't know about you, let me know in the chat. But for me, if you're into strength, you're into strength, you're into strength. You know, I will watch guys pick up heavy stuff. This weekend, the ladies' official strongman, I was frigging following that close. We're backstage, and I'm trying to keep my eyes on the monitor, just checking out who was up there. Some of the weights that those lasses were throwing about, some of them are like 60 odd kilos, 70 kilos, chucking huge weights about. It was mega. So great job to those ladies that were on there. Then the next day it was the lads. The masters were on there. It's fantastic to see so many guys just throwing their entire life into the pursuit of strength and of the discipline that they love to do. And yeah, it was ace. It was just like surrounded by like-minded people. It was quality. We had at night the Giants live show, and that finished on a knife edge. You had Evan Singleton and Novikov finished on the same amount of points, and it went on count back. Crazy entertaining. So the amount of stuff that went on over this weekend, the intensity, the excitement that surrounded it was great. The event was clearly a sellout. I mean, I don't know how many people we had directly in front of the stage. Probably, I don't know, 500, maybe even more, maybe 1,000. I don't know. A lot of people, and we had a lot of people. They were going like out right to the back of the hall and also up the aisles, so right up to the opposite side. And as I looked back into the crowd from the stage, you could see a lot of the guys with the arm wrestling shirts on, WL shirts, Arm War shirts, a couple of Nemiroff shirts over there. Awesome to see. Just great to see. Dave with a super chat. Thanks, mate. He's put, really enjoyed the Arm Wars event. Respect Neil, crew and athletes. Class work and effort. Thank you, mate. Thank you for your super chat. And thanks for your comments and the support. Really appreciate that. So, a lot of people have asked me questions about RVJ. And a lot of people have asked me questions about SASHO. I do know a little bit of background on that whole scenario, but it's not for me to talk about that. What I will say is concentrating on the positives. SASHO, remarkably strong individual, more technical than you give him credit for, than I gave him credit for. Very unique style, which I did appreciate prior to the match. Did a fabulous job of shutting down the space. Did a fabulous job of making Rob or reducing the level of comfort that Rob could find in the setup. Wrestled really intelligently, very focused. Rob, it wasn't that Rob didn't have the capability to win. He definitely does have the capability to win, and he showed signs of that through the match. 5 kilos of pressure difference is all it can take. But he wasn't able to adapt, and SASHO was. That was the major difference. It was all about, as I said beforehand on the fix, it was all about the strap. If SASHO could get to the strap consistently, it heavily swung in his favour. Rob's level of comfort in the strap is reduced greatly. Where Rob's opportunity for victory came was, as we've seen with Todd, where he can just jump onto the hand and drive down. He got a position similar to that, but as soon as he did, SASHO adapted. And he just shut the light out on Rob. He wouldn't let Rob get anywhere near that again. You've got to remember, I don't mean this as a slight on Rob, right? Rob is a magnificent arm wrestler, but Rob is not a professional arm wrestler. Rob's a guy who's naturally gifted to the highest level. And if Rob could get genuine one-on-one tuition, let's say, for example, you dropped Rob Vigent into... If Rob Vigent was dropped into Bulgaria and he was living with Svetan Gashevsky for a year, with the base that he's got now, you could create someone truly exceptional. Similarly, if he was, you know, in close proximity to Engin, I believe I could do something with him. You know, he's got that base to really exceed. And I would like to see Rob take this in the right way. And everything that I've seen from Rob suggests that he has done. The guy he took it like a champ. He took it on the chin. It was a shame to see some of the trolls jump on his ass straight away, because I thought that was a little bit pedantic, if I'm honest. You know, there'll be lovers and haters of Rob. Whether you love or hate the guy, you can't deny his ability. Guy's an excellent arm wrestler, and he took it on the chin. You know, you speak to SASHO ANDREEV, see what he thinks about it. Rob took it on the chin. He was extremely respectful. He said afterwards, just got out arm wrestled today, which is what happened. Sometimes that does happen. Who the f hasn't been there? We've all been, I mean, I've been leathered more times than I can care to remember, you know. So, very, very high level arm wrestler. For me, there's no shame in losing to a man of that pedigree. SASHO's right there. He's in the mix for the very top honour. I mean, I know, you know, I had messages the next day saying, oh, well, how good must Haji Zulaev be to smash SASHO? Well, can he? I don't know. He's beaten him before. I mean, he can beat him again. A lot of guys I've lost to come back, kick their head in, and vice versa. You know, one day is one day. We'll see. SASHO, speaking to him at weekend, was extremely confident that he beats Zulaev when he's fit and ready to go. Tweaked his left pec, his right pec at weekend after the match with Rob. He was tweaked a little bit in the tit. But what he did say to me was, before the match, he said, I'm in the best shape ever. He actually said it in his post-match interview. He said, you know, Rob's a little bit away from the level at the moment where he needs to be, or certainly what he saw of Rob that day. Fair comment. And he said, but to be fair to him, right now, I'm in amazing shape. I came here very, very ready. But he did tweak his tit. So we'll see. I expect this will put a rod up Rob Vigent, and he'll come back stronger and better. I've never known him dwell on anything like that. And I have massive respect for Rob Vigent Jr. I thought Rob Vigent Jr. was an absolute delight to deal with. Guy came over, he did everything exactly as he was asked to do it. He delivered, he was at the stage when he was asked to do it. If you ask any promoter out there, dealing with Rob, absolute pleasure. Guy was spot on. He did everything perfect. No problems whatsoever. Brilliant to deal with. Thank you very much, Rob Vigent. You were awesome, mate. Eric McAtee with a super chat. Engin plus Rob, next level. Engin and I chatted about it. Yeah, I believe that. I think if you can get, particularly Engin, because of the style, if you can get Engin and Rob together and they got deep into the breaking down Rob and rebuilding him, I think something comes out the other side of that that'll keep you awake at night. I really do. Rob Vigent's got an incredible base from which to build. And yeah, it's just a little bump in the road. Who hasn't been there? We've seen John lose, we've seen Devon lose, we've seen MT lose, we've seen Jerry lose. All of the greats in the sport, name me one that haven't had their ass handed to them. Every single one of them has been leathered at some point. So, you know, God knows I'm at the front of that queue. I've had people break the shoe off in my ass many times. Doesn't mean you can't come back and get a win. And it feels better when it advances you. It's almost a benefit in that way. You know, it's frigging awful at the time, don't get me wrong. But yeah, really beneficial. Let's have a look. How long have I been on here? I hope I'm not boring the living crap out of everybody. Really apologise if I am. I must have been on here over an hour now. And I'm knackered. My head's not working at all. I'll probably give it 15, 20 minutes and I'll jump off. Just don't want to... I wanted to get on here, guys. I'd received so many messages saying, Neil, can you go live and talk about the show? Everybody's going out and you haven't done. I'm sorry, guys. I was just knackered. I was completely knackered. I felt a bit rough. I had a bit of a cold after the weekend. Just run myself down. And yeah, I was just knackered. I'm not saying I'd had enough, because I've never had enough of arm wrestling. But I just didn't have I didn't have the bite, you know. Also, I wanted to let some of the guys that experienced the show, you know, Ryan Espy, Uncle John, guys like that, be able to get out and talk about it. Ted Wilson, if you're not subscribed to Ted Wilson's arm wrestling channel, Alpha Arm Wrestling, get over there, have a look at that. You know, the guys that came over to the show, allow them to talk about it a little bit, speak about their experience. And also I was focusing, after work in the evenings, trying to get some editing done and get some of the matches out. That's where my focus has been. As I say, I'm not very proficient at it, but trying to get those out there and just let you see the matches. And there's more coming. We're going to try and put one out a day. I just put out the left arm POV edit from my camera on Espy and Kadechia left. So that's just gone out. Let's have a look what's come in. So there's a lot more stuff coming up this weekend, I believe, as well. I think, isn't this weekend the big thing that's going over in the States that MT and Devon are announcing? Don't know. I haven't been following it, so I don't know how many guys are going over there to pull in that competition. But I was speaking to someone the other day, and they were telling me there's 10 grand on the line. Brezink called me this afternoon. I was talking to him about some stuff as well. John Brezink live now, regularly, so that's nice. Get over there and back the GOAT. Let's have a look. Yeah, Mr. Olympia, that's the kitty. That's the one. Yeah. I love this on the private line here. Neil, you're a tree. I don't know about that. Or it's, yeah. I don't know what kind of tree. I tell you what, if I am, I'm an elm tree. Fucking got Dutch elm disease. I'm knackered. Boyd is starting his own league called War Arms. Awesome. Like your work. Fix is going to be interesting, isn't it, on Sunday? Listen, Ryan, you know, Ryan's Ryan. He's going to do Ryan. Ryan's a good dude. I still think the world of Ryan. He's a good lad. I'm not getting into all that negative stuff. I'm just not. It's not my MO, guys, to get into all that crap. You know, I'm just not going to do it. I'm a big boy. I can look after myself, and it's on me. If I leave a situation open where people can go out and take the content, well, That's something I got to correct, and I'll try my best to do. I will correct that. So at this point in time, yeah, nothing I can do to rectify it. People will always do what they do. I'll do what I do. I try myself. It's not my look. It's not my feel. I wouldn't go out and I wouldn't nick somebody else's content. It's just not my thing. I wouldn't utilize their content, and particularly if I'm in the inner circle or something, I definitely wouldn't. I just wouldn't do it. It's not my MO. It's that simple. But everybody's different. You know, people do things differently. I'm not going to get dragged into that. I'm not going to get dragged into that. But yeah, it does hurt the channel. It did hurt us. It does jeopardize the future of Arm Wars. Can't pretend it doesn't. It definitely does, you know. But there we go. Let's have a look what we got in here. Matt Rhodes with a question there. Let's have a look what he's put. Apologies if I missed you discussing it. If not, your thoughts on fouling from what appears to me a losing position. Rule change required, i.e. Stoica match. No, not for me, mate, to be honest. I think the rule system is absolutely fine. The implementation of that may have been slightly flawed on a couple of occasions. But the fouling losing position, who's losing position? That's the question I want to pose to anybody in there. Who's losing position? Frodo Hoagland's? I'm not sure he has one. You know, the implementation of the foul in a losing position rule came about at the WAF. That's where it originated, okay? It came about with the primary purpose of moving through arm wrestling matches very quickly. The concept of Arm Wars is very different to that. Imagine we're in a boxing match, okay? And I crack you on the jaw with a left hand, and you are rocked. You are shook to your boots, but you're not down. Okay? And you reel back to the ropes, and all of a sudden you hit me with an overarm right and drop me and knock me out. That's drama. That's excitement. That's visceral, and that is the very essence of an exciting match. To remove that from arm wrestling is not what we intended to do. Let me be very clear. A running foul is for a minor infringement, and nothing more. Any significant infringement is a straight foul. That's very key, and you can draw your own conclusions from that. I did it on the day, but I'm not the man in the stripes. I did write the rules, and I do stand by them, and I will not change those rules. They're fabulous rules. They really are. And a little bit, if I was sat down and we had a beer and I could talk you through it, Matt, I promise, with a little bit more understanding of the sport, mate, you would see it. I could walk you through that. I've done it many times with many of the top guys in the sport. The implementation is critical, and it's not easy either. Not easy. Luke Pulsher in the chat. Hiya, mate. How are you doing? He's put, fantastic, Neil. Keep it up. Sorry I couldn't get there next time. Mate, I hope you're good. It would have been great to see you over here. It was a hell of a show, dude. Hell of a show. Knackering show. I needed to do better. But as I say, some adjustments needed. And I'll try to do that next time out. Donny Anderson with a super chat. Thanks, mate. Much appreciated. Which match were you most anticipating, and what match in the future are you looking forward to seeing? Love what you do. Danny gives clip bonus. He does do that. That is Danny's MO. Now, Donny, in answer to that question, one of the matches that I was most looking forward to, I'm not going to lie, was definitely RVJ SASHO. I wanted to see if RVJ could get his way with SASHO, who's such an awkward opponent. I wanted to see if SASHO was just too strong. We got an answer to that on the day. Congratulations to SASHO. He pulled very, very well. I was also really, really looking forward to Bogdan Stoica and Frodo Hoagland. I love that match. I thought that match was amazing. And yeah, it was amazing. It was a great match. It delivered on every level. It delivered in so many areas of the table. The match went everywhere. And those guys did themselves proud. And they're both magnificent arm wrestlers. So that was superb. I loved that match. Yeah, what can I tell you? There were probably 2 or 3 matches on that card that went pretty much how I'd seen them in my mind. I said at the start of the show, Ray and Craig was everything I had hoped it would be and more. It was spectacular. And to finish the day on that match effectively, it was at one of the back end of the day. We ended up running it dark because of the issues we had in the day. Amazing. I think that was the better. Personally, I'm maybe biased. You guys tell me. Rolly Ray, tell me. I thought that was the best match Ray Lipin's ever had in his life. I genuinely do. He's been in some screamers, and I think that was the best of them. I thought it was a phenomenal match. It was great. He was using so much range. Craig was all over him. He was all over Craig. It was just a great pull. They both went to the bank. Adam with a super chat. Thanks, mate. We'll take care of Ryan. I've unsubbed to his channel. You keep doing you, amigo. Honestly, Adam, seriously, mate, please don't do that on my behalf. Ryan is great for the sport of arm wrestling. I have a lot of time for Ryan. I like Ryan a lot. I'll continue to work with Ryan and support Ryan. Ryan's not a bad guy, and he does this for a living. He's fighting tooth and nail to feed his family. Yeah, it's my fate. If I leave myself exposed to that, there's a degree of I need to look to myself in that respect and rectify it. Yeah, it was disappointing, but Ryan definitely deserves people's support. I'll continue to support him, and that you know, that's that. Thank you for backing the cause in that respect. But please, I would ask everybody, I would implore everybody, don't do that. Keep backing Ryan. I'll continue to back Ryan 100% and work with Ryan. Ryan's a good dude. Ryan's a good dude. And Ryan does a lot of good things for the sport. He's a bit daft on occasion and he says daft things, and who doesn't do that? We all make mistakes. I've made too many to count. But yeah, Ryan and me are fine. Life's too short, you know. Life's too short to bear grudges and stuff. So as far as I'm concerned, what's done is done. I tried my best to pull the event off. I tried my best to put on a good show. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I've had a lot of positive feedback on it that suggests you do. And yeah, I'll dust myself off and I'll go again best I can, you know, and amend my style, amend how we do it, amend how we put it out there and how we control it, and get better. There's a lot of things that I would like to do better this weekend. I ran myself ragged. I wasn't efficient. I made a lot of mistakes. There was some oversights, things that I should have done better, should have remembered. So almost, I'm not going to say ring rust, but I've been out the game from a organising perspective and potentially a little naive on just what a big problem COVID was. And that's cost me dearly, like really dearly. It's cost me thousands of pounds, you know. Hit me really hard. So don't worry about that. It's hit me very, very hard. So, but you know, life's boring if you don't take any risks now and again, innit? So you gotta take a risk now and again. I did, and I lost on a little bit. So anyway, not worth worrying about that. Keep cracking forward, walking forward. What have we got in this chat? Neil, what was the issue with John Brasink? I don't have an issue with John Brasink. John Brasink rang me today. I rang John today. No issue with John Brasink. John Brasink, pull in. What do you think about John Brasink? Pull in Paul. John's favourite for me by, you know, I love Paul. John's favourite. John is, yeah, John's really, really complete. Really complete. He will take some serious beating. His hand and wrist control have been a little bit iffy. There are potentially some areas there that Paul can capitalise on, but it's difficult because I don't know Paul's rate of progression during COVID-19, and John finds a way. He's got most angles covered. I I'm going to go back to Donny Anderson's super chat because I just remembered I didn't answer the second part of your question, Donny. So I'm going to come back to that. Apologies, guys. Just want to cover that off. He said, what match you're looking forward to seeing in the future? There are so many. During this weekend, my head was spinning. Kadetcha Mask have been popping in there big time. I love that, and I would like to do that. I love both men. I think Matt Mask is one of my favourite arm wrestlers in the world. He's exciting. He's visceral. He pulls 100% every single time. Not a backward step in him. Just a bristling competitor. And I really, really would like to put him against Kadetcha, who has crazy potential. Anybody who was there at weekend saw it up close and personal. He is a frightening potential in this sport. Similar situation again. If that guy gets some technical tuition that's really focused on him, oh my word, he can go so far. He's got the frame, he's got the explosivity, he's mentally articulates the game well. He's making rapid strides. From a guy that was new to the game, I mean, you think about it, he's been thrown to the wolves. The guy's pulled the top 8 with a couple of years experience. And a lot of the giant heavyweights don't get the same tuition. They don't get the same technical focus because they can murder most people in the club anyway, and nobody gives them a lot of time. I've just seen a thing pop up there, and it says, Senpax Bolong, you look so tired, Neil. Mate, I am knackered. As well, an honest man in the chat. Yeah, dude, I'm wrecked, mate. I'm not going to lie. I'm really, really tired. I got to jump off here soon because I am completely knackered. But I just wanted to come on and answer some questions, say hello to everybody, and thank everybody for the support. Just say to you all, thank you for everything. Thank you for the support, for backing the channel, for letting us know that you enjoyed the event at weekend. It does matter. It matters a lot. It lets me know that we're still on the right track. It was nice to get out the blocks and to do an event and to see battles again, to see the thing go off. It was awesome. Lawrence Grundy, thanks for your super chat. Is there somewhere we can donate money without YouTube getting a percentage of it? I feel bad. You know what, Lawrence? I feel bad because you're getting nothing for it, mate. You know, I want to give. If anything that comes in, I'd like to be giving something for it. I'd like to have a situation where I really appreciate the offer, mate. I really do. But you've all got families out there, and you know, just keep watching the shows, and I hope you enjoy the shows. If you like what we do, keep supporting the channel and watching the shows. I'll keep trying to put them together. I have a lot of confidence that myself and some of the guys I've got around me now, I have a lot of confidence in James. James is a very talented filmmaker. I'm trying to sell my concept into him a little bit and hope that I have enough, hope that I can articulate it clearly enough for somebody of that level of ability to be able to I think of the right words, really, but try to bring it to life, you know, to make the ideas that are in my head a reality. If I can say to, I mean, he might say on some of them, he might say, oh, Neil, you're miles off, mate. You can't do that, you know. But I would like to think that by talking it through and by learning as I go and getting more understanding of what we would need to do in order to achieve the required outcome, that through the course of the year we can really get something that people want to watch, and that is something exciting, you know, something that you get home from work at night and think, oh, there's a new episode of that of Armwars show out. I can't wait to see that. Because we've all been there, you know, when you get into a sport and certainly I have, you get into a sport and You know, sometimes I'll be at work and I'll be coming home and thinking, oh yeah, the world is on live at whatever, and I'll be just wanting to get home and watch it. So that's what we're trying to do. I'm gonna go balls out and try and do that, mate. And if I can do it successfully enough, then everybody wins. You know, it brings something special. And I've got a lot of ideas around that, just bringing matches together again. I will not do the same concept that I did at weekend from where the athletes stay and stuff. It'll be slightly different. It'll be tweaked and it'll be improved. Yeah, tons of ideas. I downloaded a load of stuff in my head this weekend. I was thinking, my brain hasn't stopped. I was thinking of things, trying to think, how can we do this better? How can we do it sharper? How can we make this look? Whilst trying to think about matches and the portrayal of those matches and how we get the character across well and make it aesthetically pleasing. And I've got a few ideas, and I've been speaking to James extensively about that. And we're going to see what he comes up with his first stuff. Can't wait to get that out there. Probably going to be, he tells me earlier than Christmas, but I'm hoping we'll have it out around Christmas time. I'd like to kind of do it I'd like to plan effectively and do it on a date when it's means something, you know what I mean, like Christmas Day or Christmas Eve or New Year's Eve or something like that. Launch the channel then, so it means a little more. Yeah, that's the plan, guys. What have we got here? Matt Tickle Limits Lara in the house, dude. Let's go. Neil, I've just got my wife's shirt in the mail and the man's vest tank top, and they are amazing. Heading to Olympia tomorrow to pull amateur and enjoy the big dogs pulling Saturday. What a time to be alive, mate. Awesome. Really glad that you like the merch. The ones that we had at the weekend, I got so many people saying, oh, where did we get the Colours Arm War shirts from? They're all gone, but they are back in stock. As I say, when this show finishes, I don't think they're actually in the link right now because of my brain's blown to bits, but I will put them in. Give us sort of 15 minutes after this frigging feed finishes, and I'll put them at the top, and I'll put colour options, and the three that the guys saw at weekend, so the bright blue one, the red one, which was extremely popular, and the autumn gold, which was ridiculously popular, will be in there, as well as the classic stuff, and also the one that's only there for a short period of time, which was the reality check shirt. That's only going to be there for about another 4 days, I think that's available. So the official Armwars reality check shirt, never to be repeated, will be available for a little while, guys. Santiago Maciel, what a name that is, mate. What a name. What do you think about a pork chop versus SASHO match? I think SASHO's got too much, mate. SASHO is really strong, really strong, comedy strong. Pork chop's an animal, but I think there's just much more going on with SASHO. SASHO is, for those of you who don't know about SASHO, one of the reasons I liked the match between Rob and SASHO so much is, in their own way, they're both weirdos. They're both that freak, that one-off weirdo. SASHO, when he was a kid, came from freestyle wrestling, and which is big in Bulgaria, as everybody knows. He trained for no time. We're talking a matter of weeks. Entered the Bulgarian nationals and did really well. I think he podiumed at his first attempt. Shortly after that, he won the nationals. He won the junior worlds with minimal training, no training. The guy's natural ability, genetic ability, is off the scale. I was pissing around with him a little bit on the practice table after the show, and he's doing some high level stuff. SASHO is doing some advanced stuff. His stance, his combination, the way that he combinates the movements to his pronator is excellent. Very, very talented guy. You've got to be able to have tremendous ability to hold center, hold pronator, and gain height to do anything with SASHO. That is difficult with a man who's got that much aggression and that much side pressure, and is controlling the pronation and the supination so well. And he is fluid in that respect. The easiest way through SASHO is be stronger than SASHO, or just be that much bigger that it disables him. Because if you meet the guy head on, he's a problem. He's a handful. Now, I don't think Rob Vigent Jr. showed up at weekend. That wasn't Rob at his best. But how much of that was down to him not showing up, and how much of the fact that he was out of his game because he was just made to be out of his game by an extremely difficult opponent, I don't know. All you can say is that you've got to 100% focus on the positives from the match and the man who performed well on the day, and that was SASHO ANDREEV, and he deserved to win, and he did win. And that doesn't, for me, detract in any way from Rob Vigent. He's still a magnificent arm wrestler. You know, SASHO, I asked SASHO in his post-match interview, who would you like to face next to defend the title? He said, Todd Hutchins. I'll put that match together if I can. However, just saying that, I did write to Todd. Was it yesterday, day before? I wrote to Todd and informed him of that. And he said, oh, Engin's already asked me. So it looks like Engin may have started a strand. I've been out of touch, so I don't know about that, but that's what Todd said. So look, I don't want to tread on Engin's toes or anybody else's toes. I'm just doing my thing. That's a match, obviously, that makes sense. If that match is already set and Engin's doing it, then I'll back away and let him do that match. And I'll be watching. Awesome. Let's have a look what else we got here. Here we go. Calvin Jones with the super chat. Thanks, mate. Really, my God, $20. Thank you very much, buddy. Really appreciate that. My throat's knackered, incidentally. Brits are so soft about money. Be more like Travis. Putting in all that work for arm wrestling community and getting screwed over by COVID. Of course, people are going to want to support you, mate. Thank you very much. And to be honest, I've seen a lot of support in the comments and so on. I think, you know, there's always going to be those people who don't like what we do, and that's cool. But most of the people tend to be on board with it. I think most people really like the matches. You know, when I've had a quick skim through the comments on the stuff that I've put out just from the shitty POV camera, and the people like it. They like the bangers. They like the great matches, and that's what it's all about. BT, Neil, what would you think about SASHO versus John Brzenk? Right now, SASHO, I believe, would beat John. Right now. Every week, John becomes more dangerous. Every week, John trains. The difference with John is he's the best. The man is exceptional in all areas. He has an ability to take the match into places that most guys don't with confidence. He's got every aspect covered. He's brave. He's when he wants to, he can move with purpose over a short distance very quickly. And that's the thing with arm wrestling. It's getting to a position in which you can win the match. Getting to a position from where you can win the match, from where you can impose yourself in the match. And John is superb at doing that. His hand and wrist have looked suspect recently. I don't think he could hang up the arm strength of SASHO right now, honestly. From what I felt at weekend, SASHO was really strong. I think Todd is a better match. Hutchins is a better match. However, that said, again, in time, I believe that John can and possibly will surpass both. We're talking about different size men. For me, John's a lot bigger than SASHO. I don't know. Whenever I've spoken to John personally, John is more your 220 guy. 220, 215. I don't know whether John would want to come lower than that, or could really come. Would he give a shit about coming lower than that? I'll have to ask him. I mean, you guys can ask him. Go over to one of John's live. Whenever I've spoken to John, John doesn't seem to show much interest in losing weight. And why would he? Let the mountain come to Muhammad. You know, he's the man, isn't he? So as far as I'm concerned, people will come and they'll try to defeat John at wherever John sat weight-wise at that time. And that's how it kind of should be. I mean, the man's, you know, in his late 50s. It's not something he needs to be focused on. I even think the weight loss thing favours SASHO over Todd. I think that Todd Hutchins, when he's bigger, is mega. How he'll be with the weight loss, we'll have to see, you know. But if SASHO can get himself healed up fully and get some serious training under his belt, I do think he needs a few months off, because he was complaining after the match with Rob. Everybody who thinks that Rob didn't test him at all, well, screwed up his tit. And before the match, he was telling me that he was in great shape. So, and after the match, he said, I was in great shape. You'll hear it from him himself, you know. But after, he tweaked his tit pretty good, and he said it was something that had bothered him previously and came back. Gabriel Fitch in the super chat, mate. I'm sorry if I just murdered your name. I'm muffed. Thank you for your super chat, mate. Really appreciate it. He's put, tremendous event, Neil. We host the Powerhouse Arm Wrestling Super Series here in Oz, so appreciate the effort that goes into it. We are hosting Bone versus Adair match. We love what you do. Thank you very much, brother. And I hope Ryan and Lachlan have a great match. Everybody tune into that and support the guys in that match. Thank you, Gabriel. Hope that's a great pull, dude. Let's have a look. Rufus, Neil, why did you film? You did great, but you shouldn't have had to do both simultaneously with the announcing. Yeah, money, mate, to be honest. Just not having... I haven't got a big team of people behind me. Sponsorships have not been forthcoming. It's difficult, you know, minimal involvement in that area. Things are tight at the moment, and COVID's smashed a lot of people, so you're looking at the sponsor. Which has so often been the case. So I put my own... you got to back yourself, right? You got to bet on yourself. So, yeah, if you're going to bring something to life and you believe in it, then you got to step up. So anything that the channel has made, anything, I've been saving up, and I put it into Arm Wars. Fair play. Didn't work out on this occasion. Certainly, you know, hasn't worked out yet. We'll see, won't we? But you know, you spin the coin, and sometimes it lands, sometimes it doesn't. So, yeah, I've tried my best. I'm going to need a lot more subs to get any kind of money back, but you know, it is what it is. There was a lot of positives. People like the show. It's just tweaks, and over time, hopefully things level themselves out. We'll see, won't we? But if people like what we do and they enjoy the shows, then yeah, it'll come back. But I want to say, concentrating on the positives. I want to thank everybody that does support the channel. I want to thank everybody that's you know, given us the feedback on the show at weekend. It's hard work, but at times it was bloody enjoyable. It was great to be back in the mix. It was great to be out doing something. It's been bloody awful not being able to do arm wrestling matches, and I loved it, mate. I fucking love arm wrestling. I loved it. I did love it. It was ace. I enjoyed them matches a lot. There's some great matches. When straight off the bat, Urban and Ted. Straight off the bat, first match, bang, Friday morning. When that turned into a screamer and the crowd went nuts, and we had a big crowd early, and they all went nuts. Yeah, I felt really good. It was absolute quality. So, yeah, it's not all about the money. And obviously it is about the money in some respects, but it's not all about the money, you know. It's life's about life, innit? So it was quality. Okay, guys, I think I'm done. I'm completely knackered. I'll try and jump back on here in the next couple of days. We got the fix on Sunday night. I say we got the fix. I haven't checked in with Rolly Ray, and I haven't checked in with Ryan yet, but I'm assuming both men will be up for it, and we will be on here on Sunday night. I'll give them a shout and see where we're at. I think I've covered most things. I say Shane Kerry's just coming with a super chat. Thanks, mate. Much appreciated. Neil, you're the best promoter and event maker. Mike Man Extreme, I highly respect you keeping it 100% approach. Pray for the borders to open and get you involved stateside. I'd love that. I'd love WL to be back. The PAL reached out to me recently as well. We got some great promotions in the sport. The PAL are a great promotion. The WL are a great promotion. So many guys. We just heard from one in Australia right now who's doing things. It's exciting times for arm wrestling. It's exciting times, and I hope that it continues like that. Arm Wars is back, ladies and gents. We're back. And we're back with purpose. And I thank you for everybody that's given us the positive feedback, that does support what we do and looks forward to what we do. I appreciate that. And we won't disappoint you. Ladies and gents, if this is your first time to Supernatural Strength, give us a sub, like and share. And yeah, take it easy. All the best to you and your families. And see you again soon. Cheers, guys. Biggity bomb.